W4, we have monthly OPEX behind us. Here is the 5-minute chart of the week we just traded. Here is where we opened on Monday of last week. We opened with a little bit of a gap down and we sold off down to around a low of 44.37 or so. And then players came in and bought that, and we had this incredible move for the rest of the day that took us up to our current all-time high, all the way up to 44.80, blasting through all our 80 handle rule levels, getting to 44.80 and change, and then falling back off of that and closing at a new all-time closing high, but only at 44.79.71. So that was a classic 80 handle rule, kind of hit the ceiling and fall back and fail. And fail we did because as the week went on, we sold off all the way down to a new low for the month of August, all the way down at 43.67, right at another 80 handle rule level. So we filled 44.80, we passed down through 44.60, 44.50, 4400, 43.80, and then finally settled at 43.67. Catalysts for this move down came in here on Wednesday when we got the Fed minutes. Earlier that day, we had been trading up. We got to this nice little high on Wednesday at 44.54, and then Fed member Bullard came out and made some comments about the pace of how the taper might go, and that they might try to get it done in 6 months. I'm sure he was just talking off the cuff, but the taper that took place back in 2014 was spread out over 12 months, and the market completely freaked out about that. Because to take the amount of liquidity that they'd have to soak up in the system now, it's about 50% more than what we had then, and they want to do it in 50% the amount of time, and the market freaked out about that and peeled back all the way to a new low of the day. We tried to break out when the Fed minutes came out, but then just rolled over, and this move continued into Thursday morning. Here's where we opened on Thursday, opened and slammed down to our low of the day, but that was bought. And we made our comeback as the next 2 days of the week went on. By Friday, we were taking back the 20-day simple moving average, moving to the 10-day simple moving average. But in the final minutes of the day on Friday, we couldn't hold the close to end the week above the 10-day. This would be my only skepticism about this rally from Thursday and Friday, is that we couldn't take out and hold that 10-day simple moving average. But it was Friday end of day expiration compiled with morning expiration from the monthly OPEX, and we, maybe that player who's sitting there shorting 44.50 was in control once again, and all that this was about. Speaking of, our August settlement price was a new all-time high monthly set, so we've got that going for us. We closed the week out above the halfway back, the new halfway back that we've made for August, and the week that we just traded, because the week we just traded has the high and the low for the month in it. And we closed the week out above the 20-day. So there's a lot of good stuff going on here. Here is the move. You can see it in the daily chart and the roadmap. What we need to see happen on Monday is we got to come out of the gate flat or not very much lower, or even any kind of gap up open, no matter how small it is, will be an open back above the 10-day simple moving average. And we need to get back to that scene of the crime from Wednesday before those comments came out from Bullard. And once we can get through this 44.54 to 55 level, we're going to be back on track to the all-time high. The all-time high at 44.80, and if we can close above 44.80, we're going to go on to 4,500. And 4,500, there's nothing special about that. I think we've got more to go above there. Let me show you where I think the next target is. Bringing back the simplified daily chart again here. Last weekend's video, I showed you this move where I measured off from the July low to the swing high we made thereafter, a new July high. Measured that move out, and I showed it to you, comparing it to the last couple of moves before that, and showed you that it was a very average amount of price that we do move once we hit a hard swing low. Well, we just hit, hopefully, a hard swing low here in August last week, the new August low. Let's take that move and set it down there and see where it lands. This time last week, we had a higher August low going, so this move was higher, but now this move would only take us to about 45.64, and that, to my mind, is a classic 80 handle rule level that we could easily trade up to, fail miserably at, and that's where we might get a substantial correction to come in from. especially as we head into the end of the month for August, or as we come back from Labor Day at the beginning of September. That's when that could all play out, where we, maybe we will be up here at 45.64 by then. The way this market's been going, we could be up here by the end of this week. These moves have been crazy, and they have a time frame that they want to get things done in. So if they want to get a correction going before the month of August ends, maybe we're going to be up here a lot sooner than we think. But this is where I think we will eventually top out before we get any kind of a substantial correction. Let's take another look at the roadmap one more time and talk about what would happen if we come in weak tomorrow. If we come in tomorrow, Monday, with any kind of a gap down open, it's going to be that failure of the 10-day simple moving average. We're going to roll back here, and we're going to look for a hold of the 20-day and a hold of that halfway back point that we struck for last week. That's the halfway back for last week and for the month of August. As long as this area holds between the 20-day and about 44.24, that is your dip to buy for that move to 45.64. If we break this, however, we're probably going to be rolling back here to at least test the area from Friday's low to Thursday's close at 44.05, 44.06 or so. And if that breaks, we're going to be breaking 4,400, and we're going to be moving all the way back here, maybe testing 43.80 and reversing there. Or maybe we've got to test as deeply as coming all the way back here to test last week's low, the new low for August. Maybe we got to test that and reverse off of it, and then we can move back up. Okay. Let's take a look at the options and end this video. I apologize for my grandfather clock in the background. Over on the call side, 44.75s. I was recommending those all day on Friday. They went out holding the $8 window with an $8.90 bid and a $9.20 ask. Over on the put side, you got to start out with the 4400s. These are at a multiple of the $8 window. So what you would do is you would buy half the amount that you would usually go in there and buy at the $8 window. If you only buy one at the $8 window, then obviously you got to look at a lower strike. If we were to move up towards 44.80 and fail to make a new all-time high over that, if we got sort of a double top setup, that's where you should be looking at these 4400s and seeing where they are at, if they are at the 11, or maybe even down to testing the $8 window. Maybe they're in the low 9s or something like that. That could be a signal that these are a buy. But otherwise, if we come in flat to slightly weaker tomorrow, you're going to have to pay at least $16 for these 4400s, or go down here to the 43.70 or 43.75s to get your $11 window, or come down here to 43.50 to 43.55s to get your $8 window. One more thing about these 44.75s. I don't like the fact that there's this big volume here at the 44.50s. That could be a call seller, that same call seller who keeps pinning us down. If there is a bigger player who can take him or her out and squeeze them out, then we are going to be up to 44.75 before you can blink an eye. But if we come in kind of flat and can't push above Friday's high, it's this call seller here who's still in charge and wants us to pull back a little bit. All right, that's it. I hope this video helped you out, gave you a good idea of where we are going. Here is our target. Have a great rest of your Sunday. As always, good luck and good trading.